It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
Hello, everybody. Oh, crack this one open. Well, Liam, ran out of gas. Good thing gas prices are cheap in the States because they're gonna have to refuel on the way home there. Wow. Hey, I don't know if you gotta, if people always like to blame somebody, and if I had to blame someone tonight, I think it'd be the schedule maker. Because the Canadians, it's just been unreal how crazy their schedule has been the last month, and eventually it catches up with you. And I think tonight it was just by the third period there, they were playing a consummate road game after too. They're shutting out Washington at home. Washington wasn't getting anything going really, and then boom, third period, and it just looked like they had nothing left. What was your take on tonight, Liam?
Exciting game. Best I've seen Monty play. I mean, it's up there with as good as I've ever seen him play. Probably the reason we got the point tonight. The schedule, of course, is tough for everybody with the Olympics compressed schedule, especially with the afternoon. Yeah, after New Year. Go ahead, Greg.
Right. I'm not saying that it wasn't I mean, blame the schedule makers, blame the Olympics, blame what you want. I'm not saying that Canadians are the only team that has this crazy schedule. Everyone does. You're right on that. It's just, but you can't blame them for being tired tonight because it's just the schedule has been nuts.
No, where you could put a little bit of blame if you're looking for it, in my opinion, is the energy they had to expound last night to beat Vancouver. The worst team in the league, and you had an absolute dog race with them after 40 minutes. And
true,
thank God we ran away with it early in the third and gave us a little bit of a buffer there, and he could roll the lines. But you put a lot of energy out in that game, and then as we heard on the broadcast here tonight, arrived very late. Boy, you could see maybe the benefit of being able to send Monty ahead with the 3 goalie system. You never thought that would be a thing. I don't recall that much in the Primo days when he was hanging around with Allen and the guys. But I mean, you know what? Full measure for us. Andy comes back, gets the shorty. Gallagher, I saw your tweet about him on the power play. I mean, it's absolute sheer death on that second unit having him out there. God love him to scoring tonight. He's got so little left. He can still hustle and hit holes, but as soon as the puck touches his stick, it's a miniature explosion. And it just disappeared into Never Land. And he just doesn't. And then he scores that big one tonight. At least gave us a little bit of insurance, but we just weren't able to hang on. But the other, I think that's why we kind of ran out of gas. It's 2-2, but at the same time, like it's a back-to-back. But at the same time, it's not the travel was crazy. You're not going to the West Coast. I know they got in late anyway. It's just the energy I think they had to put out to beat Vancouver, number one. Number two, obviously couldn't maintain the lead, ran out of gas in the third, but the 5-on-3, like that's a minute one. We've been useless on 5-on-3s this year. Now you've switched up the power play again because we're struggling again, and we don't have a shooter, so you're trying to turn Dobson into a shooter. I mean, we don't have Weber, we don't have Sheldon Surrey. So, it's a struggle back there to have somebody to really be able to fire one. And the 5-on-3s are killers. They should be automatics, or at least more than we score on them. And we've had more this year than I think in the last 5 years. So that would be my reasoning, Grant. Otherwise, the kill in OT, unbelievable. I know they hit a post, but everybody hits posts. Just, again, Monty and Carrier on the kill in OT. And then, unfortunately, we weren't able to drag it to a shootout. But I'll take the point. 3 out of 4 in 48 hours. You got a tough one. You got the Sabres. The Sens are always tough. It's just tough. It's tough, but I'm okay with where it's at. It sucks right now because 2 was there for us. It was there for the taking. We kind of let it slip away, but there are some reasons. There are some tangible reasons for it.
Yeah. So you're saying call up Bryce Pickford on an emergency recall here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The power play. What's that?
That kid's unreal. Like, it'll be interesting to see when he hits the pro ranks, just how he looks, because what he's doing down there is just absolutely unbelievable. Hi, Jermaine. That's the guy on the chats here.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Jermaine and Blain. Here's Blain. Hello, Blain.
Hello, Blain.
Whoa!
I thought I'd bring you up. You were sitting there waiting for Liam to stop. So I said, well, I'll just bring him up here and just and make him. You were looking like you had something to say. So I'm going to let you take the floor here now.
No, I just thought you were going to leave me in there as some kind of a practical joke.
So the young lad, you said he played like Jack-Eye tonight. Can you?
Yes.
Liam would be interested in hearing about this.
Well, I mean, he's not the biggest kid out there, but somebody decided to do or say the wrong thing, and I'm glad I paid extra money for thick gloves.
Yeah,
those high school hockey games get pretty rough.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Well, good stuff. I'm glad you were able to come up, and so you missed the Habs, like the first half when they were good, caught the second half, and when they kind of trust me, the first half they were all right.
Yeah. The second period was kind of slowly going downhill. Third period was them just holding on, and I mean, Liam covered the overtime really well there. Honestly, yeah, I kind of agree with you, Grant. The schedule is a bit of an issue. I think that's the biggest issue as to why they lost the game. But it's not, I mean, everybody's going to have to deal with it this season. Every team's going to deal with it.
Obviously,
the fact they came in super late, I mean, pulling out a point regardless, you got to find some silver lining somewhere. Just like, sure, my kid's got a bit of a shiner, but he fought a bigger kid. So silver linings.
That's awesome.
Silver shining. Silver shiner. The you know, there's often players that I don't know why it is, but they come up big against the Canadians. Like, I remember when I was a kid, Liam, and I mean, it was I used to always go to the games at the Civic Center, the exhibition games every year, because they were right there, of course, and you see the Hawks and the Habs at the Civic Center in Ottawa. Darcy Rhoda was like a very average scorer in the NHL, but for some bloody reason against the Montreal Canadiens, he was a superstar. He'd score I remember him getting a hat trick one night. I remember at those games that like him scoring 2 or 3 in the exhibition games too. And it just, Ethan Frank has 25.
Is that his grandfather?
I wonder if he married his granddaughter or something, because this guy has 25 career NHL points. I swear 12 of them are against the Montreal Canadiens. The guy looks like a superstar every time he plays Canadiens, and I look at his stats and say, why isn't this guy 5th in NHL scoring? Somebody want to comment on that? Liam?
Wow, he's got
in the division.
Wicked depth. Jeez, the guy can fly.
He can skate, eh?
Plays well against the Habs. You see that every now and then. And great grab on Darcy Rhoda, by the way. That's a good old, those are good old days. The Hawks had they had a good team, man. They were right there, 71-73 finals, and 13 out of 14 games. They were right there. We were just a hair better. And it was all Yvonne, 73, and Ken too. But Yvonne was spectacular with 15 goals, and 71 was the big M. Beliveau in the earlier rounds, and Dryden again. But Darcy Rhoda is a great name. Ethan Frank, he almost had the hat trick right in OT. Yeah. So so they're just referencing here on the chat here, but he blew a tire there. Thank God. He probably would have scored it, but. They got the W anyway. Yeah, it's funny how some guys just end up playing well against certain teams. It's just certain matchups. It's freaky that way. They just like it. Some arenas, some guys go into rinks and and have good showings. That's always been a thing in hockey. As far back as you want to go, there's always seems to be somebody that plays well. Josh Anderson against Toronto is one from a Montreal point of view that kind of comes to mind. But
Yeah, that's true.
you know, it's just Frank had a hell of a game. I didn't see the 3 stars. Monty should have been number 1, but he would have been probably Washington. Frank was probably number 1 and Monty 2, but he deserved a start tonight. Ethan did for sure. He had a great game.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good point to kind of look at Montembeault and say and just how solid he played. Although the first half of the season everybody was on him, he wasn't really himself. But the last little while he's really shown well. And tonight he in that third period there was a couple of saves he made that really the Canadians weren't going. If he didn't make those saves, this was a regulation loss.
Yeah, for sure. No, picking up 3 or 4 in the last 2 is good. Need every point they can get with everybody around them continuing to win. It's just it's crazy how strong this division is turning out to be, right? It's
Unreal.
You know. I noticed Kapanen tonight played 23 minutes. He led all Habs forwards in ice time. Really, that PK, I thought, if they had won the game, I was going to say the PK did it for them because they were really strong again tonight. And getting a shorthanded goal obviously helped from Josh. But the last, since Evans has been out, and it's kind of funny, but the PK's been better with Evans out of the lineup. They played better. I don't know if there's any correlation there or not. Certainly, Veleno is not looking out of place on the PK. Do either you think that when Evans comes back, like, I don't know that Evans has been playing better than Veleno defensively this year, and I know it would be very surprising if Evans didn't have a spot over Veleno. But do either of you think that they're at least having discussions about that?
Well, I think that I kind of chuckled earlier on when Evans went out, or when we had some fluctuation as our injuries were mounting, and Newhook and guys coming out of our lineup that do some penalty killing. Then most importantly, Evans, when we were sitting around 27th overall at 73%, I'm going, really? Like, how much worse can it get? You want to get down where the Senators are hanging their hat? I mean, our penalty killing's been brutal this year. And it's just this last stretch that we're on. Conversely, as the power play's going down, the PKs come up. So it's like, if we could ever marry the two, I'll tell you, it would be a dangerous organization here. But I think Veleno has actually played better overall in the last few games. Not that we're ever, I think, going to see a ton from him, but if he can be responsible and he's helping on the PK, that's a huge advantage. Josh Anderson, like you say, Grant, the shorty tonight was massive, but his presence tonight, especially just that little lineup change was just a big difference. You could see at least Josh was getting in on the forecheck as the game was slipping away in the third. He was still throwing the body a little bit, still getting in and trying to create a little havoc and at least take that guy out of the play as they came up the ice. But the PK has been just outstanding. The stats back it up. That one in OT was spectacular. I don't know. It remains to be seen how they'll configure it going forward when Jake comes back, because he's going to go right back into that role. And I don't think he's had a really pretty much since he signed the contract extension.
Right.
He's kind of slipped a little bit and hasn't really, other than some flashes here and there, he hasn't really given us his best. But man, it's been good. And hopefully Marty and company, they find a way to keep some sort of that same configuration going.
Yeah. Well, Veleno and Kapanen are playing well together. Like they've been a really good PK tandem, and Veleno hits, and Jake Evans isn't very physical, and he's a little bigger, I think, stronger than Jake. So there's that element too, where they kind of need that, right? So I don't know, like, You know, Marty's faithful to the veterans, obviously. I mean, Galley on the friggin' power play, no matter what, never out of the lineup, even though when he's struggling. Evans, I expect he'll be back in the friggin' lineup because I just expect it, even if Veleno's, I think, probably the better choice right now. What do you think, Blain?
I do. I do agree. I think that once Evans does return, I can't see him moving any of Veleno or Kapanen aside. Danault's arrival kind of coincided with his departure, and Danault, I mean, God, he's a penalty killing machine as well.
Right.
What I do think would probably happen is Evans or perhaps Veleno will move over to the wing. They can be on the same line, and on the penalty kill, it just kind of takes away some penalty killing time from Suzuki, which frees him up to play more 5-on-5, more power play, and not be relied on for 20 plus minutes a night, especially on the back end of a back to back.
Yeah. So you're thinking like Evans and Anderson back, that tandem back together, and Veleno and Kapanen? Like
or you
Suzuki,
can put him with Danault,
but then
there's a
there's
lot of
Danault
options.
too. So, you know,
Yeah.
and when Danault and Cappy were together, they looked pretty damn good too as a penalty killing pair too. I also noticed
Probably pull Cappy. Cappy will be the guy that will probably lose that shift or some of it anyway. But he's been pretty effective on the PK. And like you said, he got a ton of ice time tonight. He just hangs on to the puck too long in a lot of instances. That's one thing he's got to change in his game, like real quick. And he does it in all zones. And but man, oh man, he's been a breath of fresh air this year. But he'll probably be the guy that loses some PK time when Evans comes back, because they're going to go, like you said, Marty's showing a penchant for the vets. So Veleno's probably going to be secure there. Andy has become a PK freaking specialist. And you know, Danault, do you have the Grant on Danault at the dot? Grant, what Danault was at the dot tonight? What was he?
Yeah, 55%.
Oh shit.
For Danault in the dot.
That's pretty good then. Okay.
Yeah. Cappy, I don't know, in the last dozen games or so, he's might have played more than anybody else on the PK up front. So I don't know that he'll be the guy that's the odd man out. I think it's probably more likely to be Veleno. Like, I don't know, Veleno's kind of the guy that's sort of on the bubble as far as being in the lineup. We know that Cappy's going to be in the lineup. It's if I were to choose between those five, the guy that may not be on it would be Veleno, because he may not have a spot especially when Doc gets back. Like, I don't know. We'll see.
Sure. Yeah. Now you're talking two guys. So Veleno's definitely in the press box.
Right. So at that point, then Cappy doesn't lose his, like the four guys will be Cappy, Danault, Evans, and Anderson as the main penalty killers, right?
I would
suspect. Yeah. Okay. Interesting comment on Cappy holding the puck too long. I find sometimes he's never going to be a dangler, and he loses the puck too often. That is for sure. I find what he usually does, though, when he gets a puck, he chips it. You know, he just chips it in or whatever. But the one part of his game that I find lacking at this point is just that he's not ever going to be a great stick handler. And that's a part of his game that, you know, hopefully with time and space, as he gets more used to the speed and time and space of the NHL, like Slav 2 years ago wasn't a great stick handler. And you look and see how much better improved he is, especially this year, how he's taken that step now. That we see what I saw at the Olympics in his draft year when he, you know, drove the play for Slovakia and was outstanding at 17 years of age. We're finally seeing that at the NHL level. And, you know, with some players, it's simply a matter of adjusting to the speed and the lack of space that there is at the NHL level. Blain?
Yeah, he just needs to adjust because he's hanging on to it too long.
Right,
So
right.
it's been an
Yeah.
epidemic for me anyway, in my opinion. And I think I'd like to hopefully it'll get rectified over time, and I believe it will because he's been an absolute breath of fresh air. Like his play overall, pros vastly outweigh the cons for sure.
Yeah. Blainer, what do you think?
I think it's a comfort level. He's not 100% comfortable with his decision or what he's expecting from the other guys. Like he's trying to read the play after he gets possession, as opposed to reading the play prior to possession, so he knows what he's going to do with it. It's just
Yeah.
it's a split second difference, but it makes a big difference at the NHL level.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that part of his game comes around because very good away from the puck. Really good at covering guys, getting to the open spot. He's got a really good one-timer. Well, we know all the good points, but nice to I tend to do the Kapanen Love Fest on here, so it's nice to actually have have a little bit of critique of his game, and that's why it's great to have you on, Liam. And we'll get back to the stats here. I just want to Cappy, as I mentioned, 23-10 tonight. Quite a difference from earlier in the year when he was averaging basically 11 to 14 many nights. Clearly, Marty is just gaining more and more confidence with Oliver Kapanen, and I have no issues with that. Mike Matheson, well, back to the old 27-54. Hey, as soon as Gulick came out, right? Those guys were all under 23. Now it's back to them being 27 for him, 22-35 for Cartier. Hudson 24-59, Dobson 28-37, and of course Arbor 7 minutes, and Strub's not much more. So it seems like when those two are the third pairing, and Gooley's not in the lineup, it's huge minutes for the other four, isn't it, Liam?
Well, Arbor at the serve 17.
True.
So that cost him a couple minutes right there. He probably would have been a little closer, at least to 8.5 or 9. But
right.
And just a phenomenal effort by him to jump in there for his D partner. It took a hell of a hit from Hathaway, and I loved it. That's one of the reasons why you have a guy like that on the roster to make a move like that. And just the questions coming in here. Fatigue, we talked about it earlier. Fatigue definitely played a role in the loss tonight, in the third period in particular. And Arbor's ice time, 2, 5, and 10 is going to cut into that. But overall, other than the second period last night, he's had a hell of a resurgence here in the last 6-7 games, probably as good as I've seen him play. I know in his rookie year, he just found the back of the net with some of those shots from the point, and he was such a revelation because I don't think anybody really expected anything. And so it's tempered and come down off that sort of high since then. But he's really played well, and you're those are the types of guys that you need, at least in some way, shape, or form, if not full time, definitely in judicial times as you're putting your lineups together come playoff time. And it's just man, we're getting very close to the halfway point of the season, and the Habs are still doing pretty damn good, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. Well, Gooley, they say load management. Hey, I actually like the approach that they're not, because Gooley, I think you got to be careful with him because, in the past, I think he's been rushed back a couple times, perhaps, and the schedule's crazy. You like to see Struble getting back in the lineup. Jackeye didn't deserve to come out of the lineup. People overreact as usual to one bad period. He's had one bad period in the last 10 games, I'd say. And that was last night when, he had a great first period. And I don't know, it'd been building up to that point, and I don't know if he, coming to the second period, you thought, okay, I'm Bobby Orr now. I can freaking do it all, and and just tried to do too much, right? And to his credit, had a solid third period last night and another solid game tonight. And I thought it was great that he stepped up for. Was it Hathaway that hit him? Because I know he fought He fought McElrath, right?
Yeah, that's right. Who hit him? Was it?
I imagine it was McElrath.
Was it McElrath?
I think it was. Yeah.
I would imagine, because that's who he fought.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah.
The big boy there. What are your thoughts on Jack Blain?
Well, I mean, yesterday when we were talking, I thought he'd be the one that would lose the chair in the musical chairs game, but with Hooley out, he remains in position. I mean, yeah, sure, he had a couple of errors the night before, and that, I mean, God, that happens. I mean, Hudson had a couple tonight. No one's talking about pulling him out of the game.
Right.
But he brings a specific element to the game that most players in this lineup can't. So yeah, keeping him in, that worked. The only thing is, with these back-to-back games, you don't want to have to rely on that top four for 50 minutes in a game and expect for them not to go mush legs on by the time overtime rolls around. I would have liked to have seen more ice time for Struble and for Jack-Eye, but like Liam said, I mean, he did serve 17 minutes in the box, so I thought the 10-minute misconduct might have been a little bit overkill. I mean, give him the 2 and the 5, sure, but
it's an automatic. That's the
on
penalty.
the instigator. Yeah.
And I've never been a fan of that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, and then the stick break in overtime.
Yeah,
bad break, and of course the friggin' penalty. Taking that penalty, I don't know, wasn't flagrant.
And Suzuki's not much of he's not a very vocal person.
Did you see him?
God, the body language.
The body language
on him out of the box. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah,
normally you don't see that, but
yeah. Yep. Suzuki just no, wrong, bad call, boys.
that's like the disappointed dad.
Yeah.
No, bad idea. No, terrible decision.
Yeah. What do you think of that penalty, Liam?
Ridiculous. Just, we take 5 a game. It's just unfreaking believable. And we deserve most of them, but like 80% of all calls today are chintzy. If you watch any of the other games, the officiating, I've never seen it worse. It's been this way for 25 years since they brought in the second ref. The linesmen dropping the puck are a joke. They think they're the show. People are there to see them. There's 4 or 5 are worse than anybody. And the officiating, I just think I know the speed of the game, and maybe it helps. They've got their zone, you got your zone or whatever. But I think it's caused. There was a time when the one official, and you knew what he was going to call. Within 5 or 7 minutes of the first period, you knew how the game was going to be called, and it would be the standard for the game. And now you don't. And it's like it's just there. What about when we had the 2-man advantage and Slav had the stick knocked right out of his hands?
Yes,
right in front of the net. The thing's helicoptering in the 4th level. And an easy automatic call. Oh no, they're already down 2, can't make it. It's
right.
Just
and then Protas tackles him at the end of the game there. I don't know what the hell that was, and that was no penalty either.
Some and then they called the one in front of the net that they did that they got away with was but now we're sounding like homers. But it's, if you do watch, I think probably a lot of people do. I'm sure you guys do watch. I got Edmonton Nashville on right now, and I watch all the time, and it's bad. It's bad for everybody.
Yeah.
I feel bad saying it. I know some of these guys personally. I feel bad for saying it, but it's just the way I view it, man. I think it's just some of the calls. It's just it's not good.
And it's bad because every single fan base has the same complaint about the officiating. Not that they just make bad calls. It's just the timing thereof, the lack of consistency, not knowing what to expect. It's the same argument you hear from everybody, which
Yeah.
should tell the league, hey, maybe we should revisit this.
Yeah. And the calls made by the second ref who's 100 feet away, which aren't made by the ref that's right there. Like, that hasn't improved the game. Sure, they catch some extra ones, but they more than make up for these calls from the guy at the back that doesn't see the play right, but thinks that something happened and ends up making the call.
I would take that extra official off the ice, and I would empower the linesman with more ability to call a few more calls and take that extra guy off. And I think you'd see a more consistently called game, despite the speed of it right now. If you gave the linesman a little extra responsibility, they would catch that overage that could be really egregious on and just let the one official. I think it would be better, but I know the genie's out of the bottle there. That's never going to happen. Yeah. So we need Wally Harris back. See that one on the chat?
Yeah.
Wally Harris and Art Scove and Bruce Hood and
Andy Van Hellemond.
Andy Van Hellemond. I mean, these names, Kerry Fraser, with the hair, and Koharski, have another donut, you fat pig. And, all the
and they had their names on the back of their jerseys too, and they were accountable.
Yeah.
And today, no, you can't know, and you can't criticize them. You can't know who's out there.
You can't get an interview with them.
I remember when I was
working for the Ottawa Sun, and I went through the formal channels. I said, okay, I'm gonna try here. I'm gonna try and go through every single roadblock. I put it in writing, sent a fax, wrote a letter, made phone calls. Just want to interview. You pick one of the officials post game, one person for an interview. Nope, couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. No accountability.
No.
So,
Blain, I know you've had a long day.
You
probably have to go. You have to probably go swab the deck again tomorrow morning. So,
yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go mop the rain and then sweep some sunshine. Nice early day at work again tomorrow. No, there's no extra words of knowledge. I mean, there's nothing rattling up top here anyway. So, just happy to see the guys go out and give the effort they did, get a point, and maybe get some rest before they play Buffalo.
Yeah. Get a little, get refueled, and hopefully have a little more energy on Thursday night. All right, Blain, I'll let you go, sir. And
I appreciate you having me on, and Liam, it was great seeing you again.
Yeah.
Next time we'll have to team up a little bit more and beat up on Grant.
Yeah. Sorry that Liam and I weren't more entertaining for you this time, like some of the others, but maybe next time.
Bring a case of beer on the next one.
There you go. Okay. Thanks, thanks, Blain Potvin, and have a grand evening. You're gonna get to bed before midnight tonight, or what?
That's the plan.
Okay, good luck with that.
I only have to be at work in like 4 hours.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
get
to bed. Okay. But bye for now.
Thanks for jumping on.
All right, Liam, and you're half hours up here too, I guess, right? So,
well, you got anything else you want to really go over here? You want to take any messages or anything that's coming in? I don't know. There's anything just some comments about the officiating and the Caps in the third. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do on the power play. They keep trying to tinker, I guess. What are your thoughts, Grant? How do you see it? It's interesting. Like Texie had the hot hand, you throw him up there. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, he had those 2 crazy games, and his plays improved. You want to give him a shot. He's been playing on that line. Cole's gone cold, right? Cole's gone cold. He's not hitting those little holes. He's hitting the crests. That's a killer, because he'd score percentage sort of on some of those shots, and him not scoring with the regularity was there. It hurts a little bit, but the 5-on-3s, we got to figure something out. But just the power play in general, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember the last time the second power play scored a goal, and you got to get the odd goal from the second unit, and I didn't mind the changes in the in the aspect of that. Okay, well maybe the second unit with Lane and Demi on it, and away from the top penalty killing group of the other team. And maybe, Bolduc's a shooter, Cappy's a shooter. Maybe those two playmakers, maybe they can start to get some goals on the second wave. Because I mean, Kapanen's got 16 goals this year. He's got one on the power play. Well, you would think that he'd be able to score the odd one on the power play, but they seem to run it through Gallagher. They've got Gallagher out there, and he ends up with the puck, and then by the time he's done with it, Liam, it's square. And it's just,
I love the guy. I love everything he's brought to the organization, the team, and he's been just such a freaking warrior. But and then, he scores tonight, and it's such a big goal. But what's that? Is that 3 this year?
4 now, I guess.
4? Yeah, 3 or 4. But the second unit power play for him is it just can't happen. It just cannot. When I saw your tweet, I went, oh my God, I just couldn't agree more. And I don't know if Danault's stick broke in OT or not. Their team Montana is asking, did it break? Yeah.
Yeah. On the draw.
It did break on the draw. Eh?
Right.
I missed. I couldn't tell that, but I missed that. So, I think when the injured players return, Villano, I think for sure is probably going to be one of the guys out. No, there's no doubt about it. And who else are we carrying? Any other spares from Laval?
Well, they got Beck, I guess, right? He was kind of the extra sitting out.
Anderson took his spot tonight, right?
Yes, and so, Blain took a lazy penalty tonight.
Actually,
I mean, his 30 days. He's up on a 30-day emergency recall, and it's up on the weekend, I think, or something like that. So I suspect he'll be going back down.
He's the guy.
And then Villano's kind of going to be a bubble guy. So
you're going to be 100% healthy anyway. It's going to be somebody.
No. For sure. Yeah.
Well, let's go back to what you said about when we were texting there before the game, and you said Gooley wasn't playing. I just went, "Oh my God Almighty, are you kidding me?" And now, load management. What and on the road, these games are so massive, and yet they're looking at the bigger picture. Would not have seen that before, and geez, just a couple little subtle things happen in the game different. We walk away with 2 points. As it is, we get one without him. You got big division games coming again here with Buffalo and Ottawa. He should be able to play both because they're not back to back. So, and what a interesting move there. And it's because you can put Struble or Arbor, whoever you weren't going to dress. They both have played a lot of NHL hockey. So it's not like it's an emergency recall from Laval. You got guys who are NHL ready, at least albeit in the 5 or 6 hole. So I just thought, and after we found out, or you told me what it was, that was just absolutely fantastic. So I just thought at the end of the day, I know it would have sucked had we just got walked and really missed them, and those D handled the puck like a grenade all night. But in fact, that wasn't the case, right? So it's good to see. There's just, you want to look at the positives too, and there's a lot of them, man. It's we had so many good looks tonight. Slaff's line has just been unfreaking believable. His play, Cappy overall for sure as a rookie. Ethan Frank, we're talking about him. He's a 27-year-old rookie. I mean, he's burst on the scene, and he's made Montreal his personal playground. But it's such a great story, right? Because of what he did in the All-Star game last year in the A and everything. And it's fun to see. There's still lots of good stuff around the game, and most teams anyway have something that's kind of a good story. But I think Montreal continue to be a great story, and it's got to keep scratching and clawing and fighting for points however you can. And it's just going to be a dogfight, man, right to the end.
Well, I love the great stories, Liam, just as long as it doesn't happen against Montreal.
Yeah.
I wish his great story would be, he scores 5 goals against Toronto, but hey, probably not going to happen. Well,
now saying Blain can't go down without going through waivers, and I'm not don't know that rule, so because he's played 12 games.
Well, I think they had 30 days, and then he doesn't have to go through waivers if he's sent down within the 30 days. That's my understanding of it, but I don't follow that stuff close enough to. He already played 12 matches.
Played 12, Francois is saying. So does that?
I thought it was 30 days, but now there's also 30 days or 12 matches. Is that the okay? Well, if he goes through waivers, he goes through waivers. It's there's not a spot for him when everybody's healthy anyway. So hey, if he gets picked up by somebody again on waivers, he's probably the 15th forward depth-wise. It's not the end of the world. Quickly, one last thing for you, Liam. Monty looked good. Dobie looks like the odd man out. Right now,
and he can't control the rebound to save his life right now.
No. Yet he's got a 700% win percentage this year. How often does a goalie that's winning 70% of his games get sent down to the minors? But it's become actually a pleasant problem for the club. At one point, a month and a half ago, they didn't have any goalie going, and now they've got 3 winning games and picking up points, and they've got a decision make. Do you figure that Dobie ends up being the one getting sent down here?
I think, they're going to roll the 3 probably right through to the break.
To the Olympics?
Yeah.
And then at that point,
the challenge is probably going to be after Monty puts in a performance like that, do you want him in that 3 rotation, or do you want to just start maybe augmenting it a little bit and putting Dobie on the back burner, but still have him up there? And maybe because of the volume of back-to-backs, if they're able to keep getting points, stay just ahead of the peloton there coming up in the Atlantic and in the Eastern Conference, and send guys ahead like on these back-to-backs.
Yeah.
I think that must have helped Monty not getting in the middle of the night and and going through the rigmarole of today and getting ready for the game. He was able to get into bed, have a good night's sleep, and be ready. It had to have helped. So maybe they could be onto something here, whereas nobody would ever, and every Montreal fan knows what it was like just a few years ago, how terrible it was. But because we're getting points and wins, maybe there's a way. I think we're rolling with these guys through to the break, and I really do.
Well, with the schedule as condensed as it is, right up to the Olympic break, I could see them staying with 3, and Dobie being the guy that plays less than the other 2, as has been the case for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you can always send Dobie down to the AHL at that point and let him play, get in a bunch of games during the Olympic break, right? Because he won't have played a lot.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I hope they do something like that. Nashville just beat Edmonton in overtime. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Oilers got
all right. Okay.
A couple more assists for McDavid. So we'll have to see what's going on with the Colorado next.
Braden Point. Brain Point out for a few weeks, but I guess he'll be back. It sounds like.
Sounds like they're calling it week to week. I haven't heard anything on Bo Horvat. Have you?
No. Geez, I hope. Well, I mean, if there are a couple of these guys are out, like Bo Horvat can't make it. Geez, I wonder who could replace him, Liam. I'm trying to think of a two-way gritty center that might be able to.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody that might have done something recently.
Yeah.
And you got Bedard and Scheifele chopping at the bit too, let alone Johnston or Jarvis who was on 4 Nations. So they're in a good spot. If we do lose a couple of those bodies, you just don't want to lose any of the
McDavid's,
the key guys. And just
sure.
again, just the comments here. I want to jump on here a couple ones. Yeah, Fowler, pretty good, Glenn. You're right. He has looked for the most part. He looks like he's the real deal. Is Blain better than Evans? You seeing these, Grant? Is Blain better than Evans, Doc, Newhook, Laine, or Villano? Well, he may be better than Laine. No, Laine, I don't know what the hell's going to happen there. I mean, that'll be interesting if and when he's green lighted to come back in the lineup. We've got an abundance of bodies, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, Patty better try to get back soon here when there's still when the power play is so putrid.
Yeah.
Certainly the second power play, they could use Laine's shot on that on those 5-on-3s.
Yeah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, telling you that, man. He was such a breath of fresh air last year when he came in, and I know we had a couple 5-on-3s, and it just reminded me of Shea Weber when I used to scream at the TV, for God's sake, just do the rotation, feed him to the point, and let him fire the cannon, and it's over. But I know Hudson's got a hell of a shot, but they're just trying it, like we said. They're just trying to figure something out here. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
All right, Liam, I've overextended your stay here, and I appreciate you coming on for 45, my friend. And are you doing a Montreal Forum this week?
Yeah, we should. I leave on Saturday for speaking in Mattawa on Saturday afternoon and evening. So
are you paddling up the Ottawa to Mattawa?
Or? Gonna meet Big Joe Moffera and the leads in there. And
right on.
How's the line start? Paddle out of Ottawa, something like that. Yeah, what a great song. Anyways,
Big Joe Moffera paddled down the Ottawa all the way to Mattawa in just one day.
In just one day.
Hey.
Yeah, Big Joe Moffera. Anyway,
okay.
I don't know, maybe Friday. What are we doing Friday, Wendy? Wendy has to work, like someone has to work in this house.
Yeah. Well,
about that, she says.
Yeah. Friday probably works okay. It'll be the night after the big win against Buffalo.
You go. Yeah, we could do a recap on the Sabres, and we'll see what's kicking.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Liam. Have a great night.
Everybody. Thanks for all the messages again, as usual. And Stompin' Tom, Skinner's Pond, baby. I was there last year. Everybody have a great night. Go Habs, go. Let's go get the Sabres on Thursday.
Thanks, Liam. Good night.
Right. Good night.
William Maguire, folks. The one and only. Great guys. Who was plus minus tonight? Slav was -2. Kind of stood out in that regard. Poor guy was on for that goal against an OT. Block shots tonight. Carrier had 5. He was I meant to bring that up. Those block shots that he made in OT on the penalty kill were just great. He was a stud. In the face-off dot, Nick Suzuki, 112, lost 7, 63%. Phil Deneau, 112, lost 10, 55%. Valeno 50%. Cappy won 5, lost 6, 45%. So they won the face-off battle tonight. They were ahead in shots up until the third period in overtime, and then Washington just took over. Hits-wise, Bolduc with another 4-hit night. Strub had 3. Blain with another 3. Yeah. So the third pairing, obviously, when it's Struble and Jackeye, are not going to get as much ice time as when Gooley's in the lineup, clearly. And that's, I guess, to be expected. Yeah. Galley with a goal. Anderson with a goal. Deneau with another assist. Bolduc actually picked up an assist. So he got the puck to Deneau behind the net, who got it to Galley. And Galley hit the corner with a half-decent shot. So that's not a lot to go over there. But quickly, folks, Logs End, Yvan Cornway's choice for flooring. Hey, if it's good enough for Yvan, it's good enough for you. www.logsend.com. Reclaimed white plank flooring from the Ottawa River. They make the most beautiful flooring in the world. Check out their website, go there. If you're interested in getting a quote, tell them that I sent you, and Rob will fix you up good. All right. Couple of folks have been kind enough to make a couple donations here, and we'll get to that. Brian with a $10 $10. That I love those yellow. Love when I see those yellow ones. Danielle, Daniel, thank you. You've been a steady supporter. I really appreciate you contributing. Of course, Brian gifted another 5 HabsCast memberships. He keeps doing that. Make sure to claim your membership there, folks. I really appreciate it, Brian. Oh, I was talking with Sheldon tonight. And he said that he had missed the last 2 games, and that he hoped to catch tonight's game, and that he should be joining us. So good to hear that Sheldon is going to be back in here. If not tonight, maybe he's a little busy with something. Well, we'll I'm sure we'll see him in here next time around. But it was nice to hear back from Sheldon, and it's all good. Francois with the toonie too. Thank you, Francois. Don't hesitate to donate. Grant is working hard. I appreciate that, folks, as always. How did Dowd get a 10-minute penalty? He mouthed at the ref after his penalty. He tugged at Jackeye's jersey. Wasn't a big tug by any means, but that's what they call them these days, the little tug. So, yeah, we've got a lot more people watching on X than here. We only have 62 on YouTube right now. Hey, head on over. 716 have viewed it on X. It helps out. It helps the community. It helps me. Helps the views. YouTube compensates me for the more views that you've got. So if you can take the time to go to check the link that I've got there, or go to my YouTube HabsCast page and click on the episode. And hey, join us. If you're a Habs fan, join us in what is the best live chat, Habs live chat, I think, on the internet. Stick never breaks. Dobson on the power play. Yeah, that's true, eh? Doesn't shoot it hard enough, maybe? Yeah. Oh, Mark doesn't shoot it hard enough. There you go. Cappy eating hard minutes to end this game. Hey, Marty played him well. He played more than any other forward tonight, right? Yeah, I don't know that he. Anyway, I don't think he holds on to the puck too long all the time. There are times, and it's partly just may seem that way because he does lose the puck a little more than I'd like, and that's a part of his game that hopefully he can improve with time. I think it's just a matter of getting more experience under his belt. We saw Slav 2 years ago. You know, his puck handling was not even close to what it is today. These things, it's a matter of gaining confidence in the best league in the world. Yeah. Slav, brain fart with a different guy tonight. Any event, a point salvage, which is more important. Take a rest, prepare for Thursday. Yeah. They cannot beat Washington without Wilson. Hey. You know, Mark mentions that they were in Montreal 24 hours ago playing. This was a tough road game. Yeah, to pick up a point, you know, as discouraging as it is to give up a 2-goal game, how often have the Habs done that this year to another team, right? And hey, a back-to-back and having to travel for the second game, that's a tough one. Monty, much better. Good for Galley. Yeah. Ethan Frank, the new Mario Lemieux versus the Habs. Yeah, the new Ovi. At this point, put Demidov and Cappy on power play 1 and take Susie and Cole out. Yeah, just run that line, eh? Kenny agreeing with me that the schedule isn't in their favor. Yeah, Frank was red hot, wasn't he? Frank's red hot when he plays the Habs. Eesh. That's what my headline should have been. Frank's red hot. Yeah, maybe I'll change that a little later. Too many penalties, but what an outstanding PK, especially in the OT. Yes, sir. Galley did have a good game compared to his. I don't know if he hadn't scored that goal. Would be saying that? Maybe. I don't know. But he scored one. Almost a game winner. Monty kept us in it. Yeah, well, there are positives from the game, and that's one of them. That Sammy's looks like he's getting his game back together. That's good. We got a point which is critical. Perhaps fatigue a bit of a factor, yeah. Yeah, the point injury, that's true. Like that will hurt Tampa, and you know, be like Suzuki being out almost. So, I don't know if if the Habs are playing Tampa over the next month before the break, but if they are, their luck, they probably play him as soon as points back in the lineup. Ran out of gas. Oh, is Monty had to channel his inner Halak when they couldn't convert on the 5-on-3 to go up 3-0. That was a big turning point. They didn't even look dangerous. No, well, it doesn't help when Slav doesn't have a stick, but anyway. Every team in the Atlantic keeps getting points. Yeah. And when they play each other, it goes into flipping overtime. Okay? Just a few weeks for point. Yeah. They got off their flight at, 3 a.m.? A lot of mental mistakes don't usually make. Yeah. Well, hey. Could have been worse, folks. I'm going to update my... you know what? Everybody's given kudos to Monty, so I'm going to change the... I'm going to change it. There, got a new thumbnail up. Yeah, somebody bringing up the officiating. Load management for goalie, you know. There was yeah, that's right. The Habs had 3 defensemen out there for quite a while. It was brought up by the refs. Maybe if Fowler would have played tonight, Habs wouldn't be as tired. Well, got outshot 40-something to 28, and they picked up a road point. Yeah, it was quite a spell that they were they had 6 players on the ice, so I thought they had it was a great consummate road game the first 35 or so, and then they just ran out of gas. Courage, by the way, they played for a 7-game series with Washington, considering it was back-to-back and in Washington. Yeah. Big 1 point thanks to Monty. Yep, it was. Just a second here. There. I just had to update the maybe get a few more people coming out, because a little disappointed the last 2 nights. Not even cracking 100 people at a time on here. It's discouraging. Things were going this way, and now, yeah, guess it's gonna be a roller coaster, eh? I absolutely despise those back-to-backs and compressed schedule throughout the league because of these Olympics. Yeah, I know, eh? Frig. Canada better win. That's all I can say. Apologies to any Americans that are watching, but you may have discerned that I cheer for Canada. Why was Demi not on the power play 1? I don't know. I wouldn't have put Texe up there, but I think they wanted to get the second power play going. But if they really want to get it going, get friggin' Gallagher off there. And of course, people, I posted, take him off the second power play. I had about 300 likes on X. And of course, some guys, oh, well, he scored a goal. So, was it on the power play? Did he do anything on the power play but lose the puck? No. We need to get Dave Goggins in as a fitness trainer for these guys. Then they'll be ready. Yeah. How about Goggles Paisan? Is Goggles on here tonight? Calling Goggles. Oh, there's Sheldon. Thanks, Mark. I've missed being here. Glad to have you back, Sheldon. Thanks for coming back. Grant, does Chester ever give you advice? Yeah, you stupid bastard. Why do you think I'm standing here? Is the main thing. Ethan Frank's a nice story. Yes. But I'd like it to be a nice story somewhere else. Whoops, I misspelled that. Frank's Red Hot. There we go. Habs run out of gas. Frank's Red Hot. And my, just a second here. I've had this in storage for a little while, waiting to use it. I guess it's appropriate tonight. Monty Mbo. Give him a little, give Monty a little shout out. He got the Habs a point tonight, I guess you could say. I was low-key happy to see him blow a tire and not score a hat trick, though. Yes. Cappy didn't look like it. You can see why Cappy doesn't look like defense when he blew by him there, eh? Or whoever it was on the in the overtime. Hey, see, Brian, you're not only a huge benefactor, my benefactor, but you keep things positive on here, and I like that. Most people do here, actually. And hey, there's always silver linings. The fact is, the Canadians are still well positioned. They're in a good playoff spot. They picked up a point on the road. They got three or four in back-to-backs. Monty's coming around. The second line is average age 21, and they're fantastic. You know, who was the main guy checking Ovi tonight? Oliver Kapanen, a 21-year-old rookie center, and he kept him in check. Ovi was getting frustrated, shaking his head a couple of times. It's just a Gallagher with speed. There you go. How do you think Ken compare to Sam Pollock? Ken Dryden? Are you talking about Kent? Nobody. I know what Liam would say, and I'll say it too. No one will ever compare to Sam Pollock. He was a master GM. He fleeced every team in the league at one point or another. He must have licked his chops when the expansion teams came in and knowing that they'd want to get better. And he made deals like, you went back and looked. Like, it's fun to go back, go to Wiki, the draft, and then there'll be, the 1971 draft Wiki, for instance. Type that in and then go below the first round and below the second round, but especially below the first round. And it'll give all the breakdowns of, and there'll be 7 deals involving Montreal, trading guys, trading picks. Like, Sam would trade, he'd make a deal where he would pick up first round picks from a team that he knew would still be crappy in 3 years. Give him here's I still got 3 others. Here's one of my first round picks. And you give me a first round pick in 1975. you know. And then that first round pick would end up being Mario Tremblay or something like that. Like it just, the man was a mastermind. Absolute. Chicago has great names. Chico Mackey, Darcy Rhoda, Chico Mackey, Jimmy Pappin. Yeah, Chico. Wayne Mackey's brother, Chico. Wayne got into the stick swinging with Ted Green, that famous game, right? Yeah, Keith Magnuson. They had Eric Nestorenko. Some good names. But Chico, they'd give, back when, a little less politically correct, right? Chico, you could call a guy Chico. Chief, a lot of guys, be called Chief or whatever. Back in the day, kind of hard to get away with nicknaming a guy Chico these days. Yeah. Well, you're not alone with the why is Texia on the first power play thing, but oh, I didn't see Mark. Thanks for the toonie, my friend. Okay. Marty is going to have some tough decisions to make coming up that not everyone's going to be happy with. No, he's going to feel like Doug Armstrong. Dougie Armstrong. Hey, no win situation for that guy. There's going to be five to 10 fan bases that pissed off at Doug for players that weren't picked, and it's just the way it is. And it's going to be it's not just Marty that has some tough decisions. It's ultimately Kent Hughes that's going to, because he's going to have to move some guys. At the end of the day, he's the guy that moves them, I really like Bolduc playing alongside Deneau and Josh. Well, I was waiting for Anderson to get back and for those three to be put together. Yeah. I think it could be a pretty decent third line. And that might ultimately be the right slot for him. It's funny though, like when Doc comes back, I can't see Doc on the fourth line. But I don't mind those three together. So, but does Texier then go from the first line to the fourth line? So, yeah, as Ken was saying, Marty's going to have some tough decisions, and then ultimately it'll turn back to, Marty has tough decisions, but then the Kent as well will have tough decisions. So. What's the good news about the Boston-Detroit game? I guess Boston won, did they? If that's good news. I don't know. Do we want the teams below us to be winning? I guess so. I'm just going to Columbus beat Calgary 5-3. Tampa after shootout 2-1. Sens win 2-1. St. Louis 3-0 over Carolina. Boston shuts out Detroit 3-0. Nashville wins at home against Edmonton in overtime. Winnipeg actually scores 5 goals. Utah's up on Toronto 1-0. Jurowski played today. Didn't get any points, but played well and had his most ice time, I believe, yet as a KHL player. So some encouraging signs from him as well. Fort George. Hey, George, on your snowmobile there? Is that how you get your ptarmigans? You run them over on your snowmobile, George? Yeah, a new power play coach. You know that's Marty, right? Are you saying fire Marty or bring in a power play coach? How about Gally? Gally could say, "Hey, you want a job? You want to be our power play coach for $6 million a year?" Bigger, stronger, cheaper. Evan's probably going to have to wait and be ready when they'll need him. I don't know. What do folks think about maybe Evans being moved? All right. If Valeno can do the job at a third of the price, they got too many bodies. Even, I don't know. Maybe they consider saying, okay, well, let's move Jake. Does he have does he have a no move clause or no trade clause? I doubt it. He wouldn't have that kind of clout, would he? Maybe. Somebody look that up if they get a chance and let me know if there's any kind of clause with Jake Evans's contract. Regardless, there's going to be players moved that that have some tenure with the Habs. So it's going to have to they're going to have to pick one or two, one way or the other. So yeah, I agree with Grant about Cappy over Valeno on the PK. Yeah, Cappy's not losing his PK frig. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's had more time killing penalties than any other forward. So why? It's not going to be Cappy that's losing his PK job. Not a chance. Plus, he, porting on draws too. Yeah. Too bad Tom Wilson and Gooley weren't in this game. Fatigue. Off to bed. See you, Sammy. Yeah, well, early to chat, early to rise, eh, Sammy? Thanks for showing up. Yeah, fatigue had an impact. Early morning flights don't help. Oh, George. Go Habs, go. This was a disappointing loss, but we got 1 point. Yes, sir. And I got $10. So that always quells the disappointment when you come on here, my friend, and help me out. I appreciate it. Frank is a Hab destroyer. Indeed he is. Frankly, I give a damn. And I'm tired of it. Did Daniel with a really, I think probably the most salient point so far that I've read on here tonight. Best podcast on YouTube, Grant. That's well said, Daniel. Daniel, my brother. You are younger than me, but do you still feel the pain? Ah, boy. Ron Fournier. Yeah, there's a name. Hey, is this a new Sam Olkinvi. Sam, welcome to Recruits HabsCast. Thanks for joining in. Caps taking a run at Habs. Playoffs will be wake-up call again. Could be. I don't know. I didn't think that they were intimidated tonight. They just ran out of gas. Yeah, it's hard to see Demi leaving the first power play, but again, it's it can be. Hey, I don't think the second power play has scored a goal in the last 2 months, and they have to score every now and then. You can't always just rely on the first unit, and don't mind trying to get that second group going. However, I don't know. Texier on the first. I don't know. Thank God Arbor was in tonight. He needed to take care of business. Yeah. Yep. Load management for Gooley. When I saw that, hey, he's out, Rick Springhetti texted me and said, Gooley's out. And I'm going, oh my God, not again. Tell me he's been injured already. But I really hope that as I say, it's just precautionary load management. Yeah, those games against Buffalo, well, they got it at the very least, Francois, they got a split, right? Oh. Gonna have one more here, folks. We'll probably go for about another half hour or so. Cheers. If you're drinking, let me know what you're drinking. Okay. Where you're from. What are you drinking? If you're drinking. I haven't seen Drum Dude yet. He's usually late to the party anyway. He's probably smoking, not drinking. I think it's Drum Dude. There's a couple guys. Habs need to study the tapes of last season's second round playoffs to learn how the Canes beat the Caps. What would the lineup look like when all the injured players return? Yeah. Well, I'm not Liam, so I guess I can't answer that. Liam's comments on moving to the two ref system. Yeah, well, yeah. Uh-oh. Somebody got the credit card back from the wife. $20 from Brian. Thank you, sir. Oh, Goggles, you are here, buddy. Labatt Blue. Hey, you've got a bigger... I can really see Freddie now. Budweiser, cheers. Molly, be good. Right on. Was Valeno partly responsible for Carlson's goal? Oh, I guess so. There's always some people that are partly responsible for a goal against. Blain is skating. He will be back. Just his shot is needed. I think so. Really. I honestly think Cappy net front on the power play would work. No, he is 6'2", and he goes right to the front of the net, and he's really good at deflecting pucks. Yeah, if they have to take Demi off and they got to put somebody on it, I prefer it being Cappy. But then who is the face-off guy? on the second power play. Who plays center then? I guess that's their thinking that they can't do that. The Blues re-signed Mayu to a 1-year contract extension today. Well, that's interesting. $850K. Good for him. I wish him the best. I ran into I was down at rookie tournament a couple of years ago, and this was before he had played for the Habs. And introduced myself to him, talked to him. You know, when you get first impressions from somebody, right? This is he did a really dumb thing, really dumb, and something he'll regret the rest of his life. But he's a genuinely nice, polite young man, and I wish him the best. I hope he finds his game in St. Louis. I know he will. He just needs time and experience. And I think it's the same thing for Zach Bolduc. He just needs time and experience, and his game will come. I think Liam said that about Cappy keeping the puck because of the single time he didn't see Ovechkin come from behind to steal the puck from him in the D zone. Yeah. I don't know. He made it sound like he's always handling the puck too long. I don't know. I just find that he gets the puck and he gets rid of it most of the time. A little surprised by that comment. I don't agree with it, but when Liam has an opinion, he's pretty adamant about it, and I wasn't going to disagree with him because, he turns red there, and the Irish comes out in him, and I wasn't going there. I wasn't going there with him tonight. Poor Blain, he went through it there one time, and that was enough. I figured Blain didn't need to be the third wheel with that happening again. At least Carolina, Detroit, and Islanders lost tonight. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because they're still, we want 5 teams from the Atlantic Division, I guess, right? If the Canadians don't end up being one of the top 3, then, you only want 3 from the Metro, and that increases the odds that the Habs get one of those wild card spots if that's where they end up being. Seems like the freaking Atlantic is strong, eh? Hey, Sui. Youngest team, lessons learned. 1 point, not so bad. When you learn shorthand in school, Sui? Yes, I agree. Galley needs to rest next game. Well, he scored a goal. If he didn't rest the last 20 games without scoring a goal, he's not resting the night after getting one, probably. Hockey Ninja reposted this stream. Well, thank you, Hockey Ninja. We still need to improve protecting a lead by burning the clock. Putting the puck behind the opponent's net and freezing the puck there. Yeah, Cappy did that a couple of games ago. You know what? Actually, what ended up being a reprieve, the Washington was all over Montreal, and them actually Montreal getting a penalty actually may have it may sound weird, but it may have saved them from losing in regulation, because Washington was a lot more dangerous the last 15 minutes, 5-on-5, than they were all game on the power play, I thought. Back-to-backs getting us ready to go deep in a 5 OT playoff game down the road. There you go. See? There's always joking about no, absolutely not taking it the wrong way at all. No. Did I not answer it? I was trying to be funny or flippant or something. No. All good. I knew you were joking about Chester. I tried to joke back sometimes. Sometimes my jokes fall a little flat. We had the full Monty tonight. Ooh. Monty Bon. Montabon. Get it? Monty Bon? One of my, it's funny you should say that, Marlon, because I once upon a time that was one of my thumbnails, the full Monty. Maybe that was in the back of your mind. Grant, I've wondered what would happen if the Habs acquired all the players that play huge against us every time. Would they play like that for us? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Darcy Rhoda is probably in his 70s. I'm not sure how well he'd still play, but yeah. Ethan Frank, baby. Ovi, can they get Ovi? Ovi might be tough to pick up, eh? What about, yeah, Sid the Kid? I think he'd play all right for them. 2 out of 3 broadcasters tonight said they could see the Habs finishing top 2 in our division. That's some high praise. Yeah, I saw that. The Hab or Hab not segment. Hey, they're on covering the Habs. They know better than to say different. Yeah, the third said finish in third, right? Because they wanted to disagree with the other 2. 1 point instead of 2 will just make the finals few games of the season more interesting. Yeah. Oh, it's coming down to the wire, folks. I agree about Sam Pollock. Rest in peace. Are you saying I should rest in peace, or Sammy's been resting in peace for a long time, Brian? Montreal have very good players, but sorry for the coach. Oh, there you go. Stan Mikita. Yes, Elton John wrote a song about Stan Mikita at one point, eh? That's how good Stan was. Elton, they never knew how good it felt to hold him. Stan Mikita. Oh, no, that was Nikita. Sorry. The announcer said that the fourth line was clicking only and that it was because all the other lines were doing their jobs. Okay. My heart needs some calm. I hope we secure the playoff spot before April by winning lots of matches 6-0. Chief was Johnny Busick. Yeah, it was also Nielsen. Big defenseman. Chief. There's been a few. Played for California, and I forget what they called him, Chief. There's been a few Chiefs, actually. But yeah, Johnny Busick was called Chief. George Armstrong was called Chief. I think Armstrong was the first. And then, Busick was called Chief. But was it Jim Nielsen? Kind of stocky defenseman back in the day. Played with California. I remember having his card, and I could even say on the back, he's called Chief. The little comments that they put. Yep, Jim Nielsen. James Anthony Nielsen, also known as the Chief. Played for the Rangers. That's right. Friggin' all those years, and then California and Cleveland. Yeah, he was with the Rangers in the early 70s. Del Rolfe and Brad Park, Chief Jimmy Nielsen. Does Veleno and Blain get? Yeah, maybe. Oh, 5 or 6 game win streak would be cool. I get to ask this every night on here. You know, I mean, I can keep repeating it, but it's hard to say who exactly. But you know, Blain comes out. We already had, and it's a sign for him that he's going back. Beck's going back to the minors. Blain will be sent back at some point. Then they'll have to make decisions on like Evans, Veleno, who they prefer out of the two. Likely be Evans because Marty has a tendency to stick with the guys that. I mean, they re-signed him, right? Obviously, Marty wanted Evans back, and so they'll likely choose Evans over Veleno. Did Hage play today? No game scheduled. They don't usually play on Tuesdays. Deneau will be scoring soon. There you go. Keeping with the positives. You're really positive tonight, Ryan. Saying something like that. I don't know if I'd say delusional, but positive. We'll just say positive. Detroit didn't go to overtime. Strike up the frickin' band. Those guys, I don't know what the deal is, but friggin' overtime, and win. I was getting tired of it. I don't know about anybody else. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now because maybe it just seemed that way, but feels like Detroit, 70% of their games of late have freaking gone to overtime before tonight. Am I crazy? Tell me I'm crazy. I'm clicking on Detroit here to have a look. Four, 3 overtime. Okay. Well, okay. See, not as often as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 OT games in since the end of November. Jeez, I could have swore it was more than that. A lot of friggin' like a 4-3 win, 4-3 win, 3-2 over. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 5 of the 11 there before tonight were 5 of their last 11 had gone to overtime. And they won every single frickin' one of them. So there you go. I'm only half crazy. 5-2-1 to kick off the first 13 days of January is great, all things considered. There you go, Jake. See? It's not just Brian that's positive. I'm still here, Mark. I've just been listening. Sheldon, thanks for the contribution. No hockey game tonight? Evans did not have a trading clause if memory serves. Okay. Evans' contract clear. He doesn't have a no move clause, and I hope to keep him. I would not keep Blain over him personally. Yeah, well, I don't know that either needs to be in the lineup, to be honest with you. If you're going to win. You get out Doc, Deneau, Doc or Beck, Deneau, Kapanen, and Suzuki down the middle, and I'd be fine with that. I don't know. Evans, just since he signed that contract, I don't know. He's not physical. He's not big. He's not a point getter. He's not been killing penalties very strong. I don't know. He has more upside than Valeno offense. Well, he's 30 friggin' years old, and he's never, ever produced at any good rate. I guess he's got a little more, but not much more offensive upside. Like, I don't know. The words Jake Evans and offensive upside should never be used in the same sentence as far as I'm concerned. 13 goals is the most he's ever scored in the NHL. And that's playing 15 to 18 minutes a game. So, I don't know. I can appreciate Jake Evans, and he's been, through the hard times with the Canadians and stuff, but they want to reach the next level. Like Joe Valeno's 4 years younger or whatever. Is he 4? 3 years younger? So, like Evans has played 384 games. So 138 divided by 384, 0.35 points per game in his career. .24 for Valeno. I mean, if you want to say that's more offensive upside, I suppose, a little more. But I mean, I might have more offensive upside than Joe Valeno. That's not why Evans is on the team to get points, because he doesn't get a pile of them. 10 points in 34 games this year, minus 13. Doesn't hit, isn't physical. Habs were 27th in the league when he was main penalty killer. Face off, they're basically winning the same amount. Valeno brings a more of a physical component. Personally, I don't want either of them in the lineup. If there's got to be choices made down here where you want to go for it, you're ready to. I don't have either of those guys in the lineup. I want an upgrade, but that's me. Keep it both make sense in case of injuries. Yeah, you only have a 23-man roster, right? Yeah, if Coleman comes in from Calgary, there'll be a bot or two going the other way. That's right. Who's in Nets next game? I would think Fowler, probably. Good night, everyone. Okay, Sheldon. Thanks for nice to see you back, okay? We'll see you next game. I hope. More than likely Fowler. Yeah, I think so. My image is blurry. Is that better? It looks fine on my end here. Labatt Blue for Goggles Paisan. Budweiser for Molly Be Good. Brian threw me $20 for a sip of my beer. Thanks, Brian. East Souk, Vancouver Island. Wow, I can see the U.S. here. Like Sarah Palin. East Souk. I have a good friend living on Vancouver Island, and I went and visited him. He's in Courtenay. Are you anywhere close to Courtenay? I guess you're. I mean, you're close to everything in Vancouver Island, right? Oh, okay, right, just outside of Victoria. Okay. Well, not really that close to. Not really that close to Courtenay then. Cool. Someone wants you to make a Costco run, Grant. Yeah, I'm down to like 3 beer left. I gotta go like tomorrow. All clear after I updated PC. Ah, so it's on your end. Ah, mine's clear now too. And I did nothing. Listen to your podcast about the rookie scoring race. Hope Demi wins, but even if Schaefer wins the Calder, Demi is a definite rising star. Oh yeah, for sure. Mammoth might become my second favorite team, leading Toronto 3-0. Go Bear Tourigny. Coach up a storm, my friend. I agree that Schaefer is going to be hard to beat this year. Yeah, you have to be realistic, folks. As much as I love Demi, Schaefer has to be the favorite. What he's doing is just absolutely incredible. Goggles Paisan, 279. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you, Goggles. That gets me, that gets me a 12-ouncer Chuck's Roadhouse. Grant, you are a legend. Oh, Matt Drummer, you're a good guy. Thank you. The Caps look really deflated by their power play. Yeah, can relate. Cup is more important than the Calder. Just wish Demi would get more ice time. Actually, the whole line should get more. Yeah. Well, I don't think you'll see any more from Cappy than he got tonight. 23 minutes tonight, folks, for Kapanen. I'm surprised that Cappy got 17 minutes even strength and Demi got 12:50. They ended up putting Deneau with towards the end of the game too. I noticed kind of a defensive situation, right? Deneau taking draws in the defensive zone and staying out there with Slav and Cappy, which was kind of interesting, I thought. The Caps have one of the best 5-on-5 teams in the NHL. Yeah, they do, George. That they do. Tonight during Washington power play, Deneau intercepted the slingshot. Yeah, I noticed that, eh? Yeah. No, at first I'm thinking, okay, what are you hanging back there? Oh, okay. Because they friggin' do the slingshot regardless, right? Yeah. No, that's why teams have to be careful with this slingshot and stop using it so much. Still think grit is going to be important with us, hopefully making the playoffs and meeting guerrilla warfare by certain teams. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why I don't know if Evans, I think they need an upgrade on him, honestly. Have a great night, gents. Grant, doing the post-game pods are great. For me, it's habit forming. Okay, Glenn. Appreciate you always showing up. I always remember your comment on Deneau when he shoots the puck. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. He ain't a shooter. To be fair, Montreal goes to overtime more than Detroit. Yeah. I thought it was more. Monty Insane tonight. Am I watching the Laval Rocket game tomorrow on RDS? Oh. If I want a divorce, yes. That's what, she's really good. She's really good about me watching the Habs and such, but Laval, she can't stand the announcers. So I don't know. If I do, it'll be upstairs. I might, or perhaps on my laptop, sneak in a period or two. Only Deneau could put the same pressure on his stick to shoot as he does in faceoffs. When he breaks his stick, you mean? Blain doesn't do anything. Complete plug. Pontoon, you're always good for like a, you whatever. Evans is asked for in a deal. I wouldn't balk at it. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. Let's support Grant every day and twice on Sunday. Yeah. I don't think Evans was ever an offensive dynamo going all the way back to college. No. Remember, we were recruiting from within this trade deadline. Enough with those facts, Grant. I'll admit I'm biased from his performance in the playoffs years ago. You make a solid argument. I do get attached to certain players, but, well, yeah, I mean, yeah. But there's got to be some hard decisions on some vets here. And I don't know. No chance in hell. Liam's famous words of them beating, yeah, I know Liam gets a little emphatic. Even if it's just the sound still okay, no offense, but we don't come here for your good looks. Oh my God, are you serious? Oh. Yeah, let me know if it's blurry, guys. Don't wait on it. We got 66 on here right now. I don't think the number's going up. Yeah, you manhandled him a little bit there. Mark, hit that like and subscribe. Yeah. Well, I mean, do the Habs want, Jake Evans is back. Do they want two centers, the bottom two lines that aren't physical, that have 5 goals between them? Is that going to be a recipe for taking a team far in the playoffs? I don't know. I think that there's going to be a lot of discussions in the management group about all that. I wouldn't have re-signed Jake Evans personally, but I know he was okay last year, but it was his contract year, and we've seen that story before. I would have re-signed Dvorak, but anyway, it's too late now. And I'll support him until he's gone, but if it were up to me, I'm not trying to go into the playoffs with two. Like, Danault is I like Danault more than Evans, but neither of them are physical. Danault maybe a little more physical, but neither of them score goals. I mean, Danault not anymore. Jake on pace for like 10 or 11. So between them, like 11 goals. And then playing between them as well, 20 to 25 minutes? I don't know. I would like an upgrade. Center is ultra important. I'd like if you're going to have a guy that's not scoring anyway, I'd like a bigger physical presence in that fourth slot, personally. You keep looking and you're thinking, okay, you get two big wingers, but then Evans is in between them. Like, there's one ingredient missing as far as there be a line that can hammer the other line, wear them down. That's not Evans. And yeah, I've gotten attached to him too. He's a good team guy, good guy, great piano player, all that stuff. But, everybody's getting a lot of people, well, Galley, I don't know. I'm more attached to Galley than I am to Jake Evans. And if you had to make a choice between one of the two, for me, it'd be Evans that would be gone. And perhaps both of them, actually. Danault plays a lot of games with an empty net. He'll get one of those. That's probably what he'll end up doing. George, you heading out? Okay, man. Thanks as always, eh? Appreciate the support. I really like the idea of the Habs going out to get a Coleman-type player. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't mind that. Glad I'm not the GM for the Habs. He's got some critical choices coming up. Wish him great success. Yes. They say the real work for the GM of the Habs now. They say the real work begins for the GM of the Habs now. Hardest part of building a team is where we are right now. Yeah, there's got to be some right decisions made at this point. Absolutely. Hey, we got 72 on board here now. It's funny how seem to get more people almost at midnight, eh? A few Westerners and such. As usual, Grant spot on. Many hard decisions to be made for a lot of players on our roster. Yeah. Yeah. Size, skill, grit. I think more is needed. What are your thoughts on it, folks? I've got a third of a beer here. I can go a little longer. Appreciate the contributions as always, and the folks all showing up. Brian, again, thank you for the memberships that you've gone over and above when it comes to that. Mark, Francois, thank you. Thank you as always for your support. Sheldon came back in. Was very happy when he emailed me tonight and said he'd just been busy going to games. Daniel, thank you for the support as well, of course. Mark is always chipping in. Fort George, Sheldon with his toonie, and of course Goggles Paisan. So thank you, everybody. I've always helps cushion the blow of blowing a third period 2-goal lead, right? You never like to see that. It's I gotta admit I got a little pissed off about it, but big picture, which you always like to look at, Habs got 3 out of 4 back to back, one of them being having to go on the road against a pretty good Washington team. Do you have a preference of what a fourth line should be used? I like a fourth line that can go out and play. Kevin Gumbley. Hey, Kevin, haven't seen you for a while. Leafs losing 4-0 going into the third. Thanks for the update. See, there's always good news out there somewhere, right? Thanks for reminding us of the lost lead. Hey, no problem. Getting back to Francois's question. Yeah, I like it to be an energy line. I like it to be physical. I like it to be good hard checking, physical, wear down the opposing defenseman for the skill guys, right? Have them maybe passing that puck up a little quicker than they normally would because they're a little gun shy, and wearing down the defenseman. Not necessarily injuring them like out of the game type thing, but bruise them up. Yeah, that's what and the Gaines haven't had a prototypical fourth line in a while. Like back in the day, when you had like Gainey and Chartres on your fourth line, and Gainey, Jarvis, Chartres, Jarvis was the all-purpose face-off guy, defensive specialist. Then you had the two big boys on the wing hitting everything and forechecking like crazy, wearing down the opposition. The 80s when they had Screwy and Carbo and Nyland and Gainey and McPhee and those types of guys, right, that just wore down the other team, brought energy, popped a few goals. McPhee maybe was more of a third line guy, but you know what I'm getting at. Mike Keane, those types, those types of players that help you win playoff time, especially Sergio Momesso, and you can go down the line of guys that back in the successful days that played bottom six roles and were very, very effective in wearing down the other teams, wearing down the other team, especially their defense. Yeah. Nobody would have stopped that second goal. Oh. No. I'm not retired, but I work from home tomorrow. I'm always up for more. Oh, yeah? Wonder how many of us here are retired and can stay up later. Yeah, you're always pushing for that, eh? You're a bit of a night owl, aren't you, Brian? Maybe in your 70s, but get your nap in during the day. Am I fuzzy looking again? Yeah. Don't look fuzzy on this end. Huh. Yeah, it's not saying the quality of the recording the stream sent to your destinations. Yeah. It's not I don't know what's going on there, folks. Anyway, I just every time let me know when it goes blurry, and I'll do that. Keep doing that. I keep switching it. I switch it to 720 and then back to 1080, and it seems to clear it up. Not that, as was well stated, not that you need to see my pretty face that clearly. Do I remember when Scotty Bowman I hope you got some more to say about that, Goggles Paisan, because I think you may be missing a little bit. Oh, okay. Would put Larry and Pierre on the wings. They would call it the helicopter line. Yeah, you used to put Larry on the power play too. Honestly, right now, the way the second line's going, the second power play unit, and it crossed my mind tonight. I would put Arbor in front of the net. Cappy in the bumper. Bolduc and Demi and Lane, and get it to Bolduc and over and Cappy, and have Arbor screening and just freaking go for it. Arbor, you screen the goalie. Cappy and Bolduc, you blast pucks from Demi and Lane. If they're going to keep Demi and Lane on the second for a bit, park freaking Arbor in front of the net. Just tell him, you go screen the friggin' goalie. And Cappy, you got that great one-timer. You find an open spot somewhere in the bumper Bull Duke, same deal. The two of you find your spots. The other guys zip all, do your jitterbugs all over the place. Arbor, you go in front of the friggin' net, get some shots, score some goals. Because the second unit is not scoring any. I just got back from my beer league match. Okay. How many goals tonight? Try to build our team lines along the same lines as the Habs dynasty team of the 70s. Well, yeah. It'd be nice if they could pick up a Guy Lafleur, right? Can't use trade should be interesting when it comes. He usually does a good job. I agree, Johnny. Arbor would be very hard to get out front of the net. Yeah, I know. Probably end up taking a penalty, nullifying it. Well, guys, I don't think I can do too many 3-hour ones here. It's been I end up not being able to sleep, still full of adrenaline till about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I don't end up promoting these things as well as I should, and getting some work done in the morning, like getting some clips and video clips and stuff. So I do think, and also, as far as, I mean, everyone on here is great, but as far as getting other people to watch a 3-hour YouTube video with 2.5 hours of me talking in the live chat, it's not, conducive to growing audience outside of the live chat. So it probably makes sense for me to wrap this up here 2 hours and 11 minutes in. The young lad wants to come down and game, I'm sure, too. So I think that's a good 2 hours and 11 minutes is a good bunt. We slid back down to 63 here. We never did get 80 on board here tonight. So, but that's okay. May not be quantity, but as always, quality. And as always, I got some support from people here, and I thank you very much. Sorry, Brian, Night Owl, I gonna have to pack her in, but I'm glad to see this comment from you. And yeah, Francois, same to you. Okay. Johnny, appreciate it. Ken, you have a good night as well. Yeah, I gotta put the foot down here, Mark. Okay, guys. I think I hear the young lad up too, so gonna let him take over the dungeon. Okay, everyone have a good night. Thanks again. I have prospect highlights that I haven't put up. I haven't had time. So hopefully I get sleep by 1 tonight. In the morning I'll post it, and maybe I'll do a live chat about it 1 o'clock tomorrow or something. Get a few of you retirees tuning in, and anybody else maybe that's working from home or whatever. Okay? On EIEIO. On that note, folks, good night. Have a good one. We'll maybe see it hopefully tomorrow or later today. Okay, bye for now.